Last question here. This is from Lou. The team has done some great work on individual SPAC names. I was wondering if you have a view on SPACs as an asset class and how they should trade in each quad. Given there's so many of them now trading, how can we leverage the Hedgeye process to drive more efficient outcomes?
That's a very good question, because I think it starts with something that I don't believe. That doesn't mean that what I believe is true or what you believe is true. It's just, I think it's as is generally the case, I have the way I start answering the question is different, both in terms of style and in terms of substance. Like I said, if you like the style, great. I appreciate it. If you don't, then yeah, whatever. I don't know what to do with that. So again, if you have SPACs, number one, SPACs. SPACs are not an asset class. That's what he asked, right? This is not like an asset class is fixed income, commodities, again, equities. A SPAC is a stock, all right? These are a bunch of stocks, okay? That, again, have different attributes depending on what the frickin' company does, right? A SPAC is a stock. You got to understand each stock. You got to model each company's business model. What kind of company is it? What sector style bucket is it in? What quad would it do poorly or well in? And then what are the pods in the companies? The pods, when you get into the company, pod 1, which is revenues, pod 1, pod 2, which is cash flows, and pod 3 is capital deployment. Like, how do these look? Is this accelerating? Good. Margins expanding? Good. If it's not, and if we're going into quad 4 and you have decelerating revenue and compressing margins, and you're eliminating your free cash flow so you don't have anything to deploy, that's bad. That's not an asset class. It's a shitty company to be long in that quad, right? So good question. But again, to market this as an asset class is not. That's not. I get that people think it is, but whatever it is, like Bitcoin's not an asset class. It's a commodity, or it's an asset within a high volatility complex. And I know some people might be triggered by that part too. But again, SPAC is about stock selection. You better have analysts analyzing them, which we obviously do. I think we're the best in the world at it because we have the most analysts with the most SPAC research out there, and we go both ways. Yep. Don't forget that a lot of SPAC sponsors are the banks. Right? You try to be the SPAC sponsor, and you go to the management team and slap a sell on that thing. Now, you don't just have a stock then. You have a management team that's going to fire your ass, and that is over. So then you don't get to do the next SPAC because SPACs want, the sponsors, they want to have a good, like, one-dimensional relationship with the research. So I think it's the new dawn. I've said this many, many times. If you're macro aware, that's great. And then once you start to get into single stocks, that's where our analysts are going to do, I think, some of the best work out there because we're going to be long and short certain stocks, which are what SPACs are.